So good morning, beta. In yesterday's class, we have seen what is a total internal reflection, as well as what is a critical angle for a given pair of media. In today's class, we'll be just seeing some important applications of this total internal reflections, and if time permits, we'll be also seeing the refraction through a glass prism. So the first application of this total internal reflection, let me start it. That is nothing but we'll call it as a circle of illumination. Circle of illumination. So mute your audio. Whosoever it is, mute your audio. So for that purpose, consider a denser medium here. A denser medium of refractive index, if you take mu, and this part you consider as air. So mu air is equals to 1, you already know. So here I have placed a point source. Imagine here I have placed a point source or a light source. So from here the light will be entering into the rarer medium. So this one you can take it as a normal. So this light ray will be from in this direction, light ray will be passing without deviation. Now if you take any other ray, suppose example if I take a ray here which is coming from this point source, what will happen? Instead of moving along this direction, if I draw a normal here, this will bend away from the normal like this. Similarly, if I take another ray here, what will happen? If I take a normal here, here also it will be bending away from the normal. Suppose if this is C, if this angle of incidence here is equals to C, the ray will not enter into the second medium, it will just pass grazing like this. Similarly, if you take the same ray this side also, suppose example if I take a ray which is incidenting at this point, and if I draw a normal here, if this angle of incidence is equals to C here also, what will happen? This ray will not enter into the second medium, instead it will pass like this. So on the either side of your normal, we are having such rays where the angle of incidence is equals to C, and there the light rays are not entering into the second medium here. Suppose a person sitting here or any object here, if you see from here or here, this cannot be visible, or a person sitting here cannot see this particular medium beyond this line or beyond this line. Suppose if you are able, if you want to see beyond this line, what he will be seeing is, he will be seeing this area itself, whatever here it is there, it will be reflected back, and that concept was a total internal reflection. So I have a circle, and this particular R value we need to find out. Imagine this has a vertical depth h. In today's class, let me give you the direct formula. The derivation is not of that particular importance, and this is derived based on Snell's law itself. There is no other basic formula. The formula is something R is equals to h divided by under root of mu square minus 1. R is equals to h divided by under root of mu square minus 1, where mu is the refractive index of denser medium. The rarer medium I considered as air. So here h is the vertical height of your object placed below the denser medium or the interface, and R is what called the radius. Once you know the radius, we can calculate the area of the circle also. Area of the circle is given by area is equals to pi r square. This is a basic formula we derived on the Snell's law and the parallaxial approximation. Snell's law, you know that sine of the angle of incidence in this medium into mu is equal to sine of the angle of refraction in this medium into mu.
Sir, allow చేయండి sir, కొంతమంది waiting room.
Okay. So using this formula we can just calculate the radius of the given circle as well as area, and this purely depends upon two factors beta. One is h of your object below the surface and mu of your second medium. So using this, if I just give you one problem, take down one problem. The problem is something like this: a point source, of light is kept at 8 centimeters below a glass slab of refractive index mu is equals to 5/3. Mu is equals to 5/3. Find the area through which light emerges. Find the area through which the light emerges. The answer here, what are given here, I'm solving it here. I gave you h as 8 centimeters and mu as 5/3, 5/4. I'm asking you to find out the area. In order to calculate the area of a circle, so suppose the same diagram here, if I take out, this is given as 8 centimeters. So the same diagram, if I take, this is the where area the light is coming out. So the circular area we need to calculate here. So for that purpose I need to first calculate R value. R is equals to h divided by under root of mu square minus 1. H is 8 beta. Under root of mu square minus 1 is 5/4 whole square minus 1. If you simplify, how much will you get? 8 divided by 25 minus 16/16 under root. So this will be 4 into 8 divided by 3. 4 in Is it right? This is 5/3. So this will become 5/3 and there will be a change here. 5/3 can be written as 25/9 minus 1, and here this also will be changed. This will become 8 divided by 4/3. 8 divided by 4/3 will be 8 into 3/4, which is equals to 6 centimeters. This is R value. R is equals to 6 centimeters beta. So this R value I got as 6 centimeters. Both sides, it will be symmetrical. So once you got R value, what is the area? Area is equals to pi r square, as it is a circle. So I can write pi into 6 square, that is nothing but 36 pi square units is the answer. Like this. Understood? So let me go to the next problem, next concept, as we are having less time. So this weekend syllabus coming Sunday, the syllabus is refraction only. Whatever topics are completed, from the topics I am going to give you the exam questions. Are you writing the notes? Boys? This is another application of your total internal reflection. What is mirage? Mirage ni manam Telugulo ఎండమావులు అంటాం. We'll call them as in Telugu we'll be calling them as ఎండమావులు. You might have been experienced while traveling on a noonday at around 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. while you are traveling on the road. In front of you at some distance you will be finding like water-like surfaces on the road. But when you go there and if you see, you will not find any water there. So that particular concept is nothing but an optical illusion which is based on the concept of total internal reflection. And how it happens and why it happens, let me explain you. So take out a summer noon afternoon or noonday, a sunny day. If you take and consider this as a surface, road or anything else, and if I draw some layers of air here, why I am mentioning layers of air is the layer which is nearer to the surface will be very hot and the upper surfaces will be very cool. I mean, there is a huge difference in the temperature from the layer which is at the top most and the bottom most. So I can take the temperature difference as this will be the cooler one and this will be hotter layer. So the temperature as you come down gradually increases. As temperature increases, the refractive index decreases. Remember, why the refractive index decreases means you know that material expands on heating. As they expand on heating, the density gradually decreases because density is given by the formula mass by volume. As the temperature increases, volume increases. So as the volume increases, density decreases. So refractive index has something to do with the density. So refractive index gradually decreases. So the layers which are nearer to the surface are rarer media and act like a rarer media, and the upper layers will act like a denser media. Suppose if I have an object, something like a tree over here, what will happen? A light from this tree is entering into these particular layers, if you imagine. So first light, if I take a first ray at this medium, if I draw a normal, what will happen here? As it is moving from denser medium to rarer medium, I can take mu1, mu2, mu3, mu4 and mu5. The light, instead of moving along this direction, it will bend away from the normal like this. Again it incidence here, and this is also denser and this is rarer. Again what will happen? Instead of moving along this direction, it will bend still away from the normal. Here also, instead of moving along this direction, it will still bend away from the normal. At some case what will happen is this angle of incidence will be greater than or equal to C. Once if it is greater than C, what will happen? Light, instead of coming into the last media, what will happen is it will be getting reflected if I is greater than C. There will be some situation where light can be reflected back. And if a person standing over here and if he is seeing, he will be able to see this tree. Once he can see the tree directly, and if he just see at the bottom, he will be able to see the reflection of the tree by the concept of total internal reflection. So at this point he is able to see the tree, means he will imagine that this particular one is shiny region and as you are traveling on a summer noonday, a shiny region will correspond to, you will be thinking about that this might be a water surface. So this concept is nothing but mirage formation. And the third application of this particular total internal reflection is very important beta, the concept of optical fibers. What are optical fibers meant to? Optical fibers are those cables which can be transferring the signals. Signals can be audio signals, video signals, electromagnetic signals. These signals are transferred almost all without any loss. 100% loss లేకుండా 100% ఇంటెన్సిటీ తోటి మనము ఈ లైట్ పర్టికులర్ సిగ్నల్స్ని కానీ ఆడియో సిగ్నల్స్ కానీ వీడియో సిగ్నల్స్ కానీ వన్ ప్లేస్ నుండి ఇంకో ప్లేస్కి ఈ ఆప్టికల్ ఫైబర్స్ ఆధారంగా పంపొచ్చు. అవి ఎలా ఉంటాయంటే జనరల్గా చూడడానికి మనకి మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ ఫ్యాక్ట్ తీసుకుంటే దే కంటైన్ మేజర్లీ 2 layers like this. This is layer 1, this is layer 2. This is called cladding and this is called core. It is manufactured in such a way that this is denser than this. So mu cladding, mu core should be greater than mu cladding. On that basic principle it is manufactured such that a light, if I make to incident over this surface, it is also manufactured that this angle here is greater than critical angle of this pair. So once if it is matched and if it is reached, what will happen? It will experience a total internal reflection. The light will not enter into the second medium. And here also the light is made to incident such a manner that it is greater than the critical angle. Again the light will be reflected back. So like this, wherever it experiences a total internal reflection, 100% light is reflected back. So whatever the light we are sending here or whatever the signal intensity we are sending here, that will reach up to the maximum possible distance without any loss. So these are the 3 major parts we can experience where the questions comes in your competitive examination point of view. That is nothing but number 1, I have told you, circle of illumination, or we will be calling it as a cone. And second one is mirage formation, on what basis the mirage forms and what is the basic principle behind the mirage. And the next one is optical fiber. Okay, అర్థమైందా?
Yes, sir.
The next one, refraction through a prism. Now what is prism? A prism is nothing but let me draw the 3-dimensional figure of that particular prism. Simple. It looks something like this, and this is called the base. So it is purely a transparent medium, and which is also homogeneous throughout the boundaries, and it do contain 2 refracting surfaces. This is refracting surface 1 and this is a refracting surface 2, which are inclined at an angle. This angle is considered to be the angle of prism. We'll be representing it with A. So I can define prism as an homogeneous medium which is transparent, containing 2 refracting surfaces inclined at a certain angle, is called a prism. And we can even call here also we have the prism like structure. it seems to be a cube or a cuboid, whatever you may say. If light is entering at this particular surface and if it is experiencing a refraction and if it is emerging out from the surface, we'll call it as a prism, cube. Instead, if light enters at this surface here and if it emerges here, so here it is like a cone like structure, triangular like surface, and we have refracting surface 1 and refracting surface 2 inclined at a certain angle here, and this also will act like a prism. So for ray 1 it is cube itself, but for ray 2 it acts like a prism. So this is what called prism, and we are going to see the refraction through a prism now. So coming back to the concept of angle of prism, suppose I can draw the outline of a prism as like this. Outline will be a triangular in shape, and I have 3 angles in a triangle. Suppose light is entering into this refracting surface through this particular direction. If this is an incident ray, it experiences a refraction at twice and it passes like this away. And have this angle A1, and let me name it as A2, let me name it as A3. 3 angles are given in the triangle now. So here this will be the angle of the prism beta. Suppose instead if a light is entering like this, and if it is moving like this, this is ray 2 and this is ray 1. Here I told the angle of prism is A1, but for this ray the angle of prism will be A3. So based on the ray you take, the angle of prism will be changing. So that concept you need to remember. Based on that concept, let us enter into the next topic. So if the time completes and 40 minutes time, if it is completed, I'm going to upload the YouTube video regarding this particular topic. Please go through that and maintain the notes. Will that be okay? YouTube video, please go through that video. So consider a prism. Here I have A as angle of prism, and the ray is this, you name it as incident ray, and if I draw a normal here, this will become angle of incidence, and this ray will experience a refraction at this place. As it is moving from the rarer medium to denser medium, it will bend towards the normal. So this will name it as R1 beta. Again at this point you draw another normal, and again it is moving from denser medium to rarer medium. So instead of moving along this path, this will bend like this. This is called emerging ray or emergent ray. Emergent ray, and let me call this angle of emergence E. Angle of emergence E, and let me call this angle as R2. And in absence of this particular prism, this ray will be moving along this direction. Without any deviation, this ray will be moving along this direction in absence of this prism. But as the prism is there, what happened is the ray experienced two deviations. I mean a deviation at this point and deviation at this point. This is normal and this is also normal. రెండు సార్లు లైట్ అనేది బెండ్ అయిందండి. ప్రిజం యొక్క స్పెషాలిటీ ఏంటంటే లైట్ విల్ బెండ్ 2 times. ఫస్ట్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ అండ్ సెకండ్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ రెండు సార్లు బెండ్ అవుతుంది మనకి. Now my aim is to derive the relation between I, E and A. And if I extend this ray in backward direction, ఇది కనుక బ్యాక్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తాను నేను, ఈ రెండు ఇన్సిడెంట్ రేవ్ను ఎమర్జెంట్ రే రెండు ఒక కాడ మీట్ అయ్యాయండి. ఈ మీటింగ్ పాయింట్ ఎక్కడైతే ఉందో దీన్ని నేను యాంగిల్ ఆఫ్ డీవియేషన్ డెల్టా అనుకుంటా. సో ఇయర్ ఐ ఫర్ ఇన్సిడెన్స్ యాంగిల్, ఈ ఫర్ emergence angle, and A is angle of prism, and delta is called deviation. This concept already you learned in your 10th class. So let me derive this relation beta. For that purpose, let me consider a triangle. Here let me consider this triangle. If I redraw here this triangle, base, one ray is moving along this direction and another ray is coming along this direction. This angle is delta here, and I have two angles R1, R2. Now what will be this angle and what will be this angle? This is I, this total angle is I, but this angle will become I minus R1. Here also this will become E minus R2. So for this triangle, this is a exterior angle. Delta అనేది exterior angle అవుతుంది. ఈ రెండు కూడా interior opposite angles అవుతాయి. Now what will be the concept? Exterior angle is equals to sum of interior opposite angles. So I can write delta is equals to I minus R1 plus E minus R2. If I rearrange it, I will be getting I plus E minus of R1 plus R2. This is one relation. Delta is equals to I plus E minus R1 plus R2. Now what you do is, you consider this quadrilateral. If I back extend this point, ఈ quadrilateral consider చేయండి. ఇది this quadrilateral. What is the total angle in a quadrilateral? అండి 360 degrees. Now you take this as angle A, and this complete angle will be 90, and this also will be 90, and this angle you will be having, for this quadrilateral I will be having A plus 90 plus 90, and I have this angle R1 plus R2, R1 plus R2, and this will be, ఇది ఒక ట్రయాంగిల్ అండి. ఈ యాంగిల్ కాస్త మనకు 180 మైనస్ R1 R2 అవుతుంది. కాబట్టి I can write plus 180 minus R1 plus R2 is equals to 360. ఎందుకంటే ఈ కంప్లీట్ స్ట్రక్చర్లో మనకు ఉండే యాంగిల్ 360 అవుతుంది, అండ్ ఇక్కడ ఉండే యాంగిల్ A 90 ఇది A అండి, ఇది 90 అవుతుంది. చూడండి ఎందుకు 90 అవుతుంది, ఇది నార్మల్ అని చెప్పుకున్నాను, ఇటువైపు కూడా నార్మలే కాబట్టి ఇది 90, ఇది కూడా ఏమవుతుంది, ఇది 90 అవుతుంది కంప్లీట్గా. A 90 అండ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ 180 మైనస్ R1 ప్లస్ R2. ఇది ఈ టోటల్ యాంగిల్ ఎంత, దేనికి ఈక్వల్ కావాలి మనకు, 360కి ఈక్వల్ కావాలి. ఇప్పుడు 90 180 అండ్ అగైన్ 180, దిస్ ఈజ్ 360 అండ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో 360, అండ్ ఐ విల్ బి సింప్లీ గెటింగ్ A ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు R1 ప్లస్ R2. So I have delta is equals to I plus E minus R1 plus R2, one relation, and I have A is equals to R1 plus R2. Using these two relations, I will be getting one relation better. Angle of deviation is equals to I plus E minus A. I plus E minus A. That is the relation between deviation angle, incidence angle, emergence angle, and angle of prism. It is very important, and note it. Delta is equals to I plus E minus A. So based on this formula, take down one problem. Problem number 1, if you take here, I have a prism whose angle of the prism is this is given as take it as 60. Angle of prism A is equals to 60, and has given refractive index of the material prism as mu p is equals to √3, and have an incident ray coming along this direction, and this angle of incidence is given as around 60 degrees. Now what is he asking is find the angle of emergence and delta. Find the angle of emergence and delta. So how to do this problem? Use the Snell's law beta. To solve this problem, use the Snell's law. Here if it is air, and here also if it is air, so from Snell's law, what will you get? Refractive index of this medium into sine of angle of incidence. So mu air into sine I is equals to refractive index of this medium into sine of angle of refraction. Here if I just complete the ray diagram, this is R1, and this is R2. This is delta. So our question is to find out this angle E and delta. So from here I will be getting mu A is equals to mu P into sine of R1. Simplifying this, I will be getting mu A is 1 and sine I is 60. So sine 60 is equals to mu P is √3 sine R1. So here I will be getting √3 by 2 is equals to √3 into sine R1. √3 cancel. I have sine R1 is equals to 1 by 2. From that R1 is equals to 30 degrees. I got R1 is equals to 30 degrees. We have relation for A and R1, R2. We know that A is equals to R1 plus R2. So here 60 is equals to 30 plus R2. From here R2 is equals to 30 degrees. Now I got R1, R2. Again you apply Snell's law here. R2 is the incident angle in the denser medium, and E is the angle of refraction in the rarer medium. So if I just apply Snell's law again, according to Snell's law, I will be getting √3 into sine of 30 is equals to 1 into sine E. So this is nothing but √3 by 2. Sine 30 is how much? Sorry, √3 into sine 30 is 1 by 2 is equals to sine E. From here sine E is equals to √3 by 2. From here E is equals to 60 degrees. So this I got as 60 degrees. So you know you have formula. What is that? Delta is equals to I plus E minus A. I is how much? 60. E is how much? 60. Minus A is how much? 60. 60 is cancelled. Delta is equals to 60 degrees. So this is also 60. This is also 60. So I got E is equals to delta is equals to 60 degrees. Like this we need to do the problem here. Make a note of it, please. After this I will be giving you the second problem, that is So problem 2 is this angle is given as 75, normal, this as 45. Same concept. Again, find E and delta. Concept refractive index of the prism is given as √2. E problem.